Fourth, I don't know what they'll do with that. That's uh, anyway. We'll come back to that because that is very interesting. Anyway, let's now turn our attention to the second women's K4 500. And again, we've got Denmark, Canada, Denmark, Hungary, Germany, Norway, China, Argentina, and Mexico. Really good even start here. It's the Germans and I think it's the Norwegians, at least, that have gone out really strong as well. Once again, showing they've got a bit of depth. So it's Germany, it's Norway ahead of Germany. The Hungarians looking strong as well. The first of the Danish crews is up there as well. But at this stage, it is the Norwegians who are going out to take the early lead from Germany and Hungary.
Yeah, the Norwegians looking absolutely phenomenal as they come through the 250-meter mark, and they'll have a lot of confidence with that first half of the race, and they're pretty good in the second half as well. So they've gone through in a 45.33. The Germans 0.29 behind that, and the Hungarians, two powerhouse countries, the Germans and the Hungos. The Norwegians would be absolutely loving the position they're in, and they'd be feeling that, I guess, that boost that they've had from that first 250. But the Germans, they're just starting to pull up to them. That classic pink boat with the black, red, and yellow nose just pulling in front. They're so smooth, those FES boats. They're pulling in front there, and the Hungarians there in the black boat. I think the top three is very clear in this semi-final as we come into the last 50 meters. You certainly can't mistake who is going to go through to this final. We've got Germany, Hungary, and the Norwegians clearly in front of Denmark, Argentina, and the rest of the field. But there we go. The winners of semi-final two, the Germans. They had a great showing last year at the Olympic Games, and they're obviously looking at building on that. A couple of changes in their boat, but the mainstays are still there, and they're looking good ahead of this year's international season.
Yeah, Paulina Pazak, Jewel Hake, Pauline Jakes, very, very recognisable. The new name that I haven't seen much of in that boat is Hannah Spelhagen. She was at the back of the boat. I've not seen her much on the international circuit, so getting a good chance for her to get a feel for the racing. They timed that perfectly. It was the Norwegians who went out the quickest, but the Germans managing to run over the top of them, and I think then the Hungarians with Gombas, Kohami, Ufalja and Peto taking the second position. So good race there for the Germans. There's some consistency there, isn't there? We talk about the history of the women's K4, and for so many years it was Germany and Hungary and Germany just dominating at an Olympic and a World Championship level. And then last year, New Zealand came along, upset the apple cart, and since then it's been a much broader field, and now we're seeing once again the Germans and the Hungarians regrouping, and some new names though, maybe Norway, Mexico. Maybe they'll come through and challenge over this next Olympic cycle. There is your confirmation. Not much between the Germans and the Hungarians, just 0.08.